They don't always come at you with force. They come with smiles, with sweet words, with silent manipulation. Some people don't play fair. They play smart in the wrong way. They twist stories. They provoke emotions. They want you to react, because the moment you react emotionally, you lose control. Here is the truth most people never tell you. Life is not a battlefield of strength. It is a battlefield of psychology. Machiavelli understood this long before our time. He knew that power doesn't belong to the loudest voice or the angriest reaction. Power belongs to the one who understands human nature. When someone plays dirty, your instinct is to fight back, to explain yourself, to prove you are right. But that instinct is a trap, because dirty players feed on chaos. They want your anger. They want your fear. They want your attention. And the moment you give it to them, they control the game. A calm mind is dangerous. A silent observer is unstoppable. When you stop reacting and start observing, you begin to see patterns, their weaknesses, their motives, their next move. This is not about becoming cruel. This is about becoming aware. You don't need to expose them. You don't need to attack them. You don't even need to confront them. Sometimes the smartest move is to step back. Let them believe they are winning, while you quietly reposition yourself. Because in every psychological war, the winner is not the one who strikes first. It's the one who waits, learns, and controls the outcome. And once you understand this, you never play the game the same way again. The greatest mistake people make is believing power is loud. That dominance requires force. That winning means crushing the other person. Machiavelli saw deeper than that. He understood a hard truth. The mind is the real battlefield. When someone plays dirty, they're not stronger than you. They're simply more patient. They wait for you to expose your emotions. They wait for you to speak too much. They wait for you to react. And reaction is weakness. The moment you feel offended, rushed, or desperate to prove yourself, your thinking narrows. Your decisions become predictable. And predictability is the door through which manipulation enters. This is why emotional control is not calmness. It is power disguised as stillness. Machiavelli believed that people reveal everything without realizing it. Their fears, their ambitions, their insecurities. All you have to do is watch. When you stop explaining yourself, you create mystery. When you stop reacting, you create pressure. Silence forces others to project their own thoughts onto you. And most of the time, they project their weaknesses. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming intentional. You don't rush decisions. You don't show frustration. You don't fight every battle offered to you. Instead, you choose timing. You choose positioning. You choose when to speak and when not to. Because the person who controls their emotions controls the pace. And the one who controls the pace controls the outcome. Dirty players depend on impulsive people. They lose their advantage when faced with someone who cannot be provoked. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their game, remember this. You don't need to win loudly. You don't need to prove strength. You only need to remain unreadable. And in a world full of noise, the calm mind always wins. Silence is misunderstood. People think silence means weakness. They think it means fear. They think if you're quiet, you are losing. Machiavelli knew the opposite was true. Silence is not absence of power. Silence is controlled power. When you stay silent, you deny your opponent information. You don't reveal your next move. You don't expose your emotions. You don't confirm their assumptions. And uncertainty makes people uncomfortable. Dirty players survive on reactions. They poke. They provoke. They create tension just to see how you respond. Because every response gives them data. Silence gives them nothing. When you do not explain yourself, they start guessing. When you do not react, they start doubting. When you do not defend, they start overthinking. Their mind becomes the battlefield, not yours. Machiavelli understood that most people defeat themselves. Give them enough space, and they reveal impatience. Give them enough silence, and they expose insecurity. Give them enough time, and they make mistakes. This is why restraint is so powerful. You are not avoiding the game. You're changing the rules. You choose when to speak. You choose when to act. You choose when to strike. If striking is even necessary, Because real dominance does not rush. It waits that a person who cannot be rushed cannot be controlled. A person who cannot be provoked cannot be manipulated. A person who masters silence commands respect without asking for it. This is not about ego. This is not about pride. This is about understanding that your energy is valuable. Not every comment deserves an answer. Not every challenge deserves a response. Not every enemy deserves your attention. When you stop reacting to noise, you rise above it. And that is when power shifts. They may think you are unaware. They may think you are passive. They may think they are winning. Let them, because the most dangerous moment for your opponent is when they underestimate the one who is watching quietly. In the end, the one who speaks less, observes more, always controls. Always controls the outcome. That is the art of winning without fighting. That is the power of silence. Underestimation is a gift. Most people don't realize this. They fear being seen as weak, quiet, or unimportant. But Machiavelli understood a deeper truth. When people underestimate you, they lower their guard. And a lower guard is opportunity. When someone believes you are harmless, they reveal their real face. They speak too freely. They move too fast. They take risks they would never take around someone they fear. This is where power quietly shifts. You don't correct their assumptions. You don't rush to show intelligence. You don't announce your strength. You let them believe the story they created about you. Because people treat you based on what they think you are capable of. And when they think you are incapable, they expose everything. Machiavelli believed that deception is not always about lying. Sometimes it is about not revealing the truth too early. Strength revealed too soon invites resistance. Intelligence displayed too openly creates enemies. But restraint creates surprise. When you move in silence, your actions speak louder than any words. When you stay patient, timing works in your favor. When you wait, you see the full picture, not just fragments. Dirty players rush because they fear losing control. They push, they pressure, they provoke, but the calm mind does not rush. You don't need to prove dominance every moment. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need validation from people who don't understand you. Real power is invisible until it is unavoidable. And when the moment finally comes, when action is required, it feels sudden to them, but calculated to you. That is why underestimation is dangerous for those who do it. They mistake patience for weakness. They confuse silence with surrender. They believe still water has no depth until it moves. So let them think you are quiet. Let them think you are behind. Let them think you are not a threat. Because the most effective advantage is the one your opponent never sees coming. And by the time they realize who you truly are, the game has already been decided. Machiavelli knew that the mind sees more than the eyes. The greatest victories are not won with fists or words. They are won with awareness. When someone plays dirty, most people react. They argue. They defend. They expose their weaknesses in the process. But the truly powerful observe. Observation is more than just noticing. It is understanding patterns, motives, and intentions. It is reading between the lines, seeing what is not said, and predicting what will come next. Every action a person takes is a clue. Every word they speak is a map of their desires and fears. Every pause, hesitation, or exaggeration reveals the path they want you to follow. And this is where Machiavelli's wisdom comes alive. People reveal everything if you only watch. You don't have to confront them immediately. You don't have to respond to every insult or trick. You simply need to see clearly. The more you observe, the more control you gain. The more control you gain, the less you're manipulated. And the less you are manipulated, the closer you are to victory. Observation gives patience. Observation gives clarity. Observation gives foresight. When you combine this with silence, restraint, and underestimation, you create an unshakable advantage. While others waste energy reacting, you are collecting information. While others make mistakes in haste, you are planning your precise move. While others show their cards, you hold yours close to your chest. Remember this. Dirty players feed on impulsiveness. They lose their power when met with steady eyes. They crumble under careful analysis. They're trapped by their own mistakes before you even touch the board. Master observation, and you master the game. Because in the end, life is not about who attacks first, but who sees first, waits wisely, and strikes decisively. Patience is not waiting. It is preparing. It is the quiet strength that grows while others rush, react, and exhaust themselves. When people play dirty, they rely on haste. They hope you will react impulsively. They expect anger, frustration, or confusion. But when you remain calm, you flip the rules of the game. Every moment you wait is a moment to analyze, strategize, and understand. Every pause is a chance to see motives clearly. Every silence sharpens your insight. Patience allows you to spot opportunities others miss. It gives you time to understand weaknesses without confronting them. It creates the perfect moment for action, precise, controlled, and unstoppable. Rushing into a fight is giving power to someone else. Waiting, observing, and planning is taking it back. Because the world rewards those who act at the right moment, not the fastest one. Patience also builds confidence. When you are unshakable, others become uneasy. When you do not react to provocations, manipulators lose interest. They realize the game is no longer theirs to control. And when the time finally comes to act, your patience transforms into force that is calculated, inevitable, and exact. The victory you achieve is not accidental. It is earned through restraint, timing, and awareness. Remember, power is invisible until it is applied. Waiting does not mean weakness. It means mastery. It means you understand the bigger picture while others are lost in chaos. It means you are ready when they are not. Those who play dirty may think they are in control, but the one who turns patience into action controls the outcome. Every measured step, every deliberate move, every silent moment accumulates into unstoppable strength. And that is how patience becomes your most formidable weapon. Patience and observation alone are not enough at some point. You must act, but action without strategy is chaos. Action without timing is wasted energy. True power is striking with precision, calculated, deliberate, unstoppable. By now, you have seen the patterns. You have noticed the weaknesses. You have watched the provocations and manipulations. You have stayed silent while others revealed themselves. Now it's time to move, not in haste, but at the perfect moment. The first rule of precision is clarity. Know exactly what you want to achieve. Know the outcome that matters most. Do not act to prove a point or to react emotionally. Act to win. The second rule is timing. A strike too early may alert them. A strike too late may allow them to recover. But the perfectly timed move changes everything. It shifts control, influence, and perception instantly. The third rule is subtlety. You don't need to announce your actions. You don't need to show power before it is felt. Your movement should feel inevitable, natural, and unavoidable. By the time they realize what happened, the advantage is already yours. Precision also requires confidence. Every hesitation gives them a chance to adjust. Every doubt gives them a way back. The one who acts decisively, with calculated courage, becomes untouchable. Remember, the most powerful victories are invisible until they are complete. They leave no room for argument, no chance for manipulation, no question of who is in control. Many people believe winning is loud. It is not. Winning is quiet. Winning is deliberate. Winning is perfectly timed action after deliberate preparation. Strike when the moment is yours, not when it is demanded. Strike after patience, observation, and planning. Strike so cleanly that it leaves no trace of doubt, only undeniable results. This is the culmination of mental mastery, the combination of silence, patience, observation, and strategy. When you act like this, you do not just win the moment. You reshape the game entirely in your favor.